ॐ सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। समस्त जनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। One of the reasons why study of Upanishad or Prasthantari is considered to be a very intellectually challenging study is because Hindu religion is not all about faith. Shraddha is an essential constituent of dharma. You must have faith and confidence together, which forms conviction about what you think or what you feel before studying anything. You have a conviction that if I study medicine, I will become a doctor. If that conviction itself is not there, the study cannot progress. Yet the conviction doesn't mean the study. So in other words, a systematic analysis or study to the utmost depth is an essential ingredient of understanding what is called as Vastu or Bhauma. What is Vastu or Bhauma? The ultimate truth. So far we have been hearing about it, listening about it, but we haven't really thought seriously about it. Upanishad, with the help of Brahma Sutra and then bringing the essence in the form of Bhagavad Gita, it goes to the very basic depths of the knowledge called truth. Goes without saying that if you are trying to get the highest possible knowledge in the world, it cannot be simple. What do you mean by simplicity and difficulty? It is purely in relation with the intellectual challenge. You need to expand the capacity of your intellectual understanding, widen it to such an extent that at least it can get a faint idea of what the truth is all about. Getting an idea at an intellectual level of the truth is the limit of Western philosophy. Getting the idea of intellectual truth and experiencing it is the end of Eastern philosophy or the Vedanta. So it is not merely intellectual exercise for the sake of intellect, but it is an intellectual exercise for the sake of realization. Once we are sure that this is what it is all about, then the Upanishads, they directly start dwelling into the very fundamental concept which we presume but we never study. And one such concept is Jnana. What is a Jnana? Unfortunately, in English it is called knowledge. In our philosophy, knowledge is not Jnana. In our philosophy, knowledge is called Prama. Now the question is, then what is the difference between Jnanam and Prama? Any cognition in this world is a Jnana. Whatever you cognize in this world. Now I will make three statements. The first statement is, I know Pradeepji. Second is, I can repair my car. And third is, few of the cats are black. Three different statements. The first statement, I know Pradeepji, is it knowledge? A question mark. Second statement, I can repair the car, is it knowledge? And third, I know some of the cats are black, is it knowledge? In our common parlance, all three are statements related to knowledge. But in the theory of knowledge, or Prama or Jnanam, they are not equated as knowledge. Then what are they? I know Pradeep ji is an acquaintance. Acquaintance is not knowledge. I know the book. That won't mean that I have the knowledge of the book. So acquaintance cannot be knowledge. I can repair the car is a skill set. Skill is not knowledge. We are slightly getting into the word duels, but we have to hold on with it because this is just the beginning of it. Skill set is non-knowledge. Acquaintance is not knowledge. But some of the cats are black is knowledge because it is a fact. Try to understand. A factual knowledge. Right. Now, is knowledge a belief? Is knowledge a belief? By definition, it is. A belief which is true and justified is knowledge. This is the Vyakhya of knowledge by Western philosophers. True and justified belief is knowledge. So you believe that when it is too hot air, it moves upwards and gets the coldness of the upper atmosphere, it rains. It is a knowledge. So you have a belief which is true because it rained, and it is justified. Why? Because it repeats itself in the same consequence. Three criteria are there, but one alone cannot be knowledge. You see a mirage in the desert. Is it not true that you see a mirage? Yes, it is true. Is it knowledge? It is not justified. So true, justified and belief is knowledge. Now stretch this to the farthest extent. Is this world existing or not existing? Now we are taking it to the other extreme. You would say, I stay in this world, I live in this world, I know all the people around, I know Dilip ji, I know Vasishtha ji. How can you ask me a question? Because it's my belief that this is true and I try to justify myself. Now ask the same question to Gurudeva. Gurudeva, is this world true? And what would he say? It is not. That means what is true to me is not true to somebody else. So this is qualified truth, not ultimate truth. unchallenged truth. So that means we need to dwell a little deeper on the aspect of jnanam to know what jnana is all about or knowledge is all about. And why do all this exercise unnecessarily test our brain? The reason is by knowing this, it is possible to come to a conclusion that what we believe in is not what actually is. It is like an insect that has fallen into a mud who tries to extricate itself so that it can start walking out. Extricating from the existing environment which is trying to give me an aspect of knowledge which I presume to be true. Now, if you talk about knowledge, immediately the question came that I had a dream, and in that dream this happened. Is this knowledge or it is not knowledge? One question. Second, I have a knowledge of object like spectacles, paper, book, Manishji, air, the wall clock. Because there is an object, there is a subject, there is a process of observation, inference, or whatever comes out of it is part of knowledge. But I am keeping myself completely closed in terms of my indriyas. My eyes are closed. I am not moving. I am not seeing anything. I am not hearing anything. I am not tasting anything. I am not smelling anything. Nobody is touching me. And yet, from my memory, I saw a palace. Is this knowledge or not? From my memory, I perceived the palace. It's not existing. I have not seen it. I closed my eyes. But still, my mind has recorded presence of a palace. So far, what we have discussed, it is almost clear that knowledge is not so easy to define one, and far more difficult to come to a conclusion what is the ultimate knowledge. So, the Indian philosophy differs from Western philosophy on one very important aspect. In Western philosophy, there is knowledge and no knowledge. Jnanam, no jnanam. Two distinct categories. In Indian philosophy, it says valid knowledge, invalid knowledge. The word is invalid knowledge. Yathartha prama, ayathartha prama. Sanskrit words for the same. The Westerner comes and says that, sir, knowledge, how it can be invalid? You say knowledge and you say invalid. Knowledge has to be valid always. How can there be invalid knowledge? And that is where the Indian philosophy differs, and it starts with the concept that all kind of cognitions, whatever is coming from wherever, coming from outside, coming from inside, smriti, memory, it comes from there also. So, knowledge flows to me from where? Me at the center, my periphery comprising of objects, inanimate and inanimate, and their impressions in my memory. So these are my sources of interaction or cognition. So Indian philosophy says all cognitions are jnanam. Once we know that all cognitions are jnanam, then a very important aspect comes that cognition itself is of two types. One is experience, another is recall. Experience, there is a mango, I ate the mango, got the experience of the taste of the mango. It is experiential knowledge. Now same mango came from my memory. I ate the mango in the memory and I also say, क्या उस जमाने में आम मिलते थे? It is an act of eating by recalling memory. So there is no experience there. It is a recall of the experience. So jnanam is divided into two parts. Anubhava janya jnana, that which gives experience, and second is recall based knowledge, memory based knowledge, or smruti janya jnana. So two knowledges are there. Why divide these two knowledges? Because we are searching for the ultimate knowledge. If tomorrow somebody says ultimate knowledge is in the memory, it is not to be experienced, then there is no point in doing sadhana. All you need to do is recall. But to recall, there is nothing there. So first we should know that jnanam is of two types. Now when we say memory or smruti, this smruti again can be true or false. What is true or false? I saw Vasishtha ji after a long time, after 10 years, and my memory told me he is Vasishtha ji. है कि नहीं है? I think he is Vasishtha ji. Looks like him. I'm not sure. Should I call him and ask him, or that means I'm in doubt? Memory can put you in doubt. That is called ayathartha prama. Doubtful memory, ayathartha prama. Suppose he comes in front of me after 10 years and my memory says, this is Vasishtha ji. There is no doubt there. Yathartha prama. So smruti can be of two types, just for the sake of knowing it. We are not at all connected with smruti in Brahmajnana. Why? पहले ब्रह्मज्ञान हुआ है, उसकी मेमोरी अभी वापस आ रही है, तो all you need to do is recall. Don't do anything. Just recall and you will get Brahmajnana. It doesn't happen. In fact, it is said, all that you have in your memory is not Brahmajnana, because it is just an impression of an experience that you had in the past. Somewhere I touched some hot thing and it burnt me. It has become a memory in my mind. So that means experience becomes smruti. So the first is experience, second is smruti. If first is experience, I am not recalling Brahmajnanam, means what? I never had experience of Brahmajnanam. We are using logic, tark. I hope I am trying to be as clear as possible. Whole exercise is for Brahmajnanam. But before Brahmajnanam, Brahmajnanam means Jnanam of Brahman. So that means Jnan of something. So first we must define what Jnanam is, then only you will get Brahmajnanam. This aspect of defining Jnanam which we are doing, in technical words it is called epistemology or Jnana Mimamsa. In Tattva Jnana, there are two important things. We are trying to go towards some basics. Philosophically speaking, what are the questions we normally try to deal with? One is, who am I? What is all this? And what is the relationship between these two? Is there a third question? There is no third question. Who am I? What is this world all about? How are we related? Right? Now, to understand this, who am I? What is this world? How we are related? To know this, I will have to use buddhi and then reason it out. Isn't it? We reason it out. Who am I? I reason it out. What is this world? Reasoning is what? Pramana. If this is this, then that is that. Who am I? A sadhu tells me that you are Chaitanya. Who said this? Gurudev said this. Right? I have not experienced it. Yet I take this as Praman. Why? It came from Gurudev. So my source of knowledge here is, Praman is Gurudev. No, I read it in the book. Source of knowledge is book. I can infer also. I will not depend on Gurudev. Let me just find out that if for every effect there is a cause, so that cause there is another cause, so that cause, there must be some cause for which there is no cause. I am trying to use my inference. There are different ways whereby I can reason it out to know the ultimate thing called truth or existence or Chaitanya or Brahma or Atman, whatever you call it. So when you are trying to study the ultimate thing or Vastu or Brahma, it is called Adhyatma Shastra or metaphysics. In metaphysics, we talk only about Atman and its so-called gunas. Right now we are doing 18th Adhyaya. We said that it is not this, it is this, it is only when this happens, and this is how Atman. We are all talking about that ultimate reality. Any discussion about ultimate reality is called Adhyatma or metaphysics. Reasoning is called Pramana or Jnana Mimamsa. How do I get knowledge? Why both are important is because by knowing the reasoning, if you want to go for a war, you must have a gun, isn't it? You're going for a war and you have a stick in your hand. You will never get into the war, you will never win it for sure. That's why first thing you should be clear is what is the implement, armament that you need. Similarly, what is the real knowledge or the process of knowledge so that you can get the ultimate truth. So that is why they are trying to divide it different types of jnanam. Now once it is clear that knowledge can come from smriti or it can come from experience. Smriti is not considered as knowledge by Indian philosophy. So the only knowledge left is by experience. So whatever जो अनुभव में आता है, मैं जिसको अनुभूति स्वीकृत करता हूँ, that is knowledge. Why is he Pradeep ji? My eyes can see it. There is a pramana, isn't it? This is an experience. So what I experience is knowledge. Then comes a very important and fundamental question. Whatever I experience, is it true or false? Is it always true or is it false? Then question, why do you ask, sir? Whatever you experience has to be true. No, but there was a mirage in the desert. Didn't I experience it? Yes, I. Then, how can you say that it is true? It is not true. That means all experiences need not be true. Very important statement. All experiences need not be true. Then what happens to that experience? Can I say that no, there is no mirage? No, sir, I can see it. No, I cannot deny it. I know it is not true, yet I am experiencing it. Then how will you come to know that it is not true? No, I went there, the sun set and the mirage disappeared. That means it was true in the beginning, became falsified or sublated. What is sublation? A thing is sublated by another thing. A fact is sublated by another fact. Pradeep ji is a very, very tall man, about 8 feet tall. It's an assumption. I saw him, oh no, he is not. This fact got sublated by this fact. That means one truth at a point of time got sublated by another truth. So there is a possibility of sublation of truth. So that means even in experience there are two types of experiences. And what are those two types of experiences that we have? One is called a prama and one is called aprama. Aprama means this mirage example that we gave. That means those experiences that can be sublated or destroyed or can be vanished after knowledge of another thing is called sublation. Let us take a concrete example of Gurudeva. Being a Jivan Mukta, when he was born and when he was learning and when he was in Lucknow and when he went to his Guru and when he was meditating, up to that point, he had the knowledge of this world the way we have. He sublated that knowledge by acquisition of another knowledge, which is Brahman. We are trying to come to a concrete statement that knowledge, what we see or feel or experience as knowledge, need not be the ultimate knowledge. This is the logical corollary that we are coming to. So, once it is true that Prama or correct knowledge is by experience, then they tried to see what are the different ways you can get knowledge. One is called Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha. I can see Pradeepji, so he is sitting here. My eyes are helping me in that. My mind is deciphering what my eyes are seeing. I am coming to a Pratyaksha Jnanam. Pratyaksha Jnanam is like sunlight. You don't need any proof for that. Is there a mango or not, sir? When mango is there, you don't need any proof. Why? Pratyaksha Pramana. So does that mean everything in this world comes to the knowledge only when it is in front of you? No, because my daughter is not in front of me. How do I know that I have a daughter? Or how do I know that Pradeepji has a daughter or son? Because he spoke to me some time back that, sir, pharmacy is better or this is better. So when he asked me, should I take pharmacy, should she take pharmacy or not? What did I conclude? He is not going for pharmacy. Then he must be asking for his daughter. This is inference. Anuman. So Pratyaksha, Anuman. These are two. The third thing is Upamana. Upamana means a man has not seen a dog, and you, let us say there is a bird called emu. There is a bird called emu. Not many have seen it. How do we describe it? Oh, same hota hai, wo ostrich hota hai na. What are we trying to do? Giving the knowledge of another by comparing it with this one. This is basically what is called Upamana. Right? So one Pratyaksha, one inference, third comparison. What is fourth? No Pratyaksha, no Anumana, no comparison. Shabda. Shabda means Gurudeva said so. I have not seen it, but I believe in it. Why? Why to reinvent the wheel? When you have a door to the house, you push it and the door goes away, right? Why? Because the hinge is at one end. By principle of physics, hinge being there, less force is applied here, right? Okay. No, I want to really research it and do it again. You can do it, it will take a year to find out. Somebody has already done it. I believe in it, so I also make a door like that only. Why? Shabdam Pramanam. Right? This is Shabda. The book is nothing else. Agama, all Shruti, Veda, Smruti, Purana, Itihasa. And then, of course, there are conditions on Shabda. Dr. Jadhav says that Brahma is of two types. Nobody will believe. Why? Dr. Jadhav is saying that he has got no value. Gurudev says so has a value. That means Shabda Pramana has to be of a standard. It has to come from Adhikari Mukha. It has to come from an Adhikari Vyakti. So how many Pramanas we have seen? Pratyaksha, Anumana. Then third is Upamana, comparison. Fourth, Shabda. And there is a fifth one which is called Upamana, which is called Arthapati. What is arthapatti? Arthapatti is presumption. This is fifth way of getting knowledge. Now, not to get into too many complexities of this, one statement will clearly explain it. In Bihar, a student did not appear for the exam and he stood first in the university. What is the statement? He did not appear in the university and he stood first in the exam. What is the conclusion? He is son of a minister. Didn't we come to that conclusion? Now this is precisely what is called arthapatti. When two arguments given to you do not give you any clue, you take a third clue. This is also the way of getting knowledge. This is called arthapatti. And the last one is called anupalabdhi or anupalabdhi. Is there a waterfall in this room? Then don't you have a knowledge that it is not there? Is it not a knowledge? Absence of something is perceived by you is also a knowledge. This is called anupalabdhi. So there are 6 ways of getting knowledge. We have mentioned it in a sequence. Pratyaksha, pramana, anumana, shabda, arthapatti, anupalabdhi. Why we have put it in a sequence is, we have Shad Darshanas, we all know that. The Darshanas as we progress, for example the Charvaka Darshana, we have heard of Charvaka, right? It is called Lokayat or Charvaka Darshan. It believes only in the first Praman, Pratyaksha, no other. There is only one way, Pratyaksha. What I see is knowledge, nothing else is knowledge, according to them. As we move forward, Nyaya Vaisheshika come up to Upama. Purva Mimamsa goes little beyond. Advaita believes in all the 6. Our discussion started from what is knowledge, what is true knowledge or valid knowledge and invalid knowledge. So first we separated knowledge into smruti and anubhava, experience and recall. Recall is not considered as knowledge. Experience is considered down. In experience we said 2 types of. One is true experience, yathartha prama, and aprama. So that means you are experiencing it, but it is not true. These 6 pramanas are about your experiencing and it is true. Now, what are the areas when you experience it and it is not true? That means what are the types of aprama? First aprama is samshaya. Samshaya means take any of these 6 pramanas, but you are not able to come to a conclusion. Example is very simple. I saw Pradeepji, not sure whether he is Pradeepji or not. Pratyaksha is there, eyes are there, I am there, I am trying to see who he is. I have actually seen him, yet I am not able to come to a conclusion. Doubt is there, that doubting is samshaya. Samshaya is not jnana. Samshaya means you have not come to a conclusion at all, it cannot be jnana. Then the second is called viparyaya. This is very important for us. What is viparyaya? Sir, कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, confused हो गया हूँ, doubt है. Not a problem. You have not understood anything. That is why you are confused. But imagine you have understood, but in a different thing than what actually it is. That's more dangerous. Thing what is there is X. What you are perceiving it is Y. And presuming that the perception is correct, that is viparyaya, or it is called error of judgment. Error of judgment. The difference between doubt and error is, in doubt you have not come to a conclusion. In error you have come to a conclusion which is wrong. So samshaya, viparyaya and tarka. That is the third one. Tark is so dominant in our life. I think so. We always use this word. What do you think? Who will win the election? I think so. Tark. Tark means it cannot lead to anything. It is just a postulation. You do a postulation. It's not yet proved. It hasn't come to the level of truth. Why this doubt and viparya and tark we are trying to study is out of this most critical for us is the viparya part, the illusion part, the error part. What is the basic of this error? One thing is existing, but I am perceiving it a different thing. Now imagine mirage is there. We see the mirage, one thing is perceived. Another thing, actually it is mirror, but what is another thing? Water is there. So a mirage, existence is mirage, conclusion is water. So that means I have to sublate or destroy this wrong notion by some way, refute. I have to refute this. Then I will come to a conclusion, no, there is no water. Why? There is no mirage. Now, extend the same logic to ourselves. In Western philosophy and Eastern philosophy, Berkeley was one philosopher. He started asking a question that Dr. Jadhav is sitting here. What is the proof? Think in a philosophical manner. I am sitting here. What is the proof for this? What is that which will tell me that no, you are sitting here? No, I think so. I think has no meaning. What is the guarantee that I am sitting here? So I have to have some propositions to prove that I am sitting here. Right? Otherwise, just because I presume, it cannot be the fact. So similarly, I am the body. Why? I've been presuming that so many years. Can it alone be the reason for it? One. And second, like the mirage, if I find out that there is no water here, so if I find out that there is no body here, then it will be proved that there is no body. Today I am in the concept of mirage. Today I am under the impression that body is there and body is me. Tomorrow when I actually find out there is no water in the mirage, or tomorrow I find out that there is no body but something else, then the body will be sublated. Possibility. We are not talking about the surety as yet, but possibility cannot be denied. This is where the Indian philosophical mind started searching that what I call truth, what I see around, does it have a substantial base, or am I just presuming it? But sir, there are millions and millions who are vouching for it. Vouched by million, can it be the reason? It is possible that the entire world is stupefied or under hypnotic spell. One person who is not under hypnosis may say that all others are under hypnosis. Possibility is there. Again, we are talking still on theoretical level. But theoretically, is it not possible? If that is the case, then to find out whether I am the body or I am somebody else, I have to employ some techniques. One technique is technique of analysis, intellectual analysis. Second is implementing the thought process in a manner whereby I can experience it. One is I can say that this is a mirage because look, normally mirage is square and then there are waves you see. This is intellectual analysis. Second is directly waiting till the sunrise is over, the sunset has complete, and say that look where it is now. Second is proof for this analysis. The study of Upanishads is in the first part. And the second part is what everybody is individually supposed to do. To work on the intellectual analysis is sadhana. Intellectual analysis is abhyasa. So, whole process is for the abhyasa. Now comes the question that when I am in this world, I cannot say that the world is existing because I touch my wife, I touch my children, I touch my car, I experience driving, I feel good while driving, I feel bad while doing this. All these are happening to me. How can you say that this is not true? If you say this is illusion, then what about my experience? Am I not experiencing it? And with this comes a very, very peculiar, special example taken by Advaita Vedanta for study, and it is called Rajju Sarpa Vada. We all know that the Shuktika and Rajata, the shell and the silver, Sarpa and the rope, right? Rajju. These are two common examples taken. First of all, look at the beauty of that example. The rope is lying on the floor. It is slightly dark. There is sufficient light to see what is lying there, but insufficient light to know what is lying there. Samshaya-grasta Vatavaran is there. So it is a twilight, and I saw a rope. I presumed it to be snake. This is quite possible. It happens, right? Now what has happened is, things do not stop there. Because I see the snake, I am frightened. I am sweating. I am feeling absolute chill inside. I am trying to run away. So all the reactions are happening on the basis that this is a snake. What is the truth? This is a rope. What is the presumption or what is the erroneous judgment? This is snake. What is the effect? Terrifying effect on my body, mind and everything. Now comes the question that knowledge of the snake, is it not a knowledge? False true, that is a different thing. When you see the rope, you will say, oh no, it was not the snake. That is not important. Right now, the knowledge of the snake, is it knowledge or is it not? Because I have a knowledge of the snake till it is sublated by the knowledge of the rope. But till that point, knowledge of snake is there. At the same time, is this knowledge valid? It is not valid. I don't know that it is invalid. That's why I am frightened. But the fact is that the knowledge is there that the snake is there. You cannot just dismiss, oh, there is no snake. If there is no snake, then why am I frightened? Knowledge is false. Frightening is not false. This is a philosophical dilemma, right? Till the time the rope is known, snake is true. Till the time snake is true, the fear will be true, right? And this example has been taken as the center example in philosophical speculation because there is an analogy between ourselves and this example. This world that we see, is it something like the snake that we see on that rope? Yes or no? That's the basic question. If a rope and knowledge of rope can retire the concept called snake, can knowledge of something retire the false knowledge of the world? Possible? So retire the false knowledge of the world or the falsity of the world. The true knowledge of the rope or the substratum or adhisthana is must. Suppose rope itself is not existing, will there be snake? No chance. Why? Adhisthana is gone. That means every illusion has to have substratum. Some important philosophical statements we are making. It is not a doubt. We saw doubt is different than illusion. Illusion means one thing is existing, other thing is perceived. But the fact remains that the one thing is existing. So question comes, the world that I am staying in is the rope or is the snake? My life, me, world, whatever I see, is it a snake or is it a rope? Now, it is a snake because he told me. I have not experienced it. He told because he found the rope. Finding out the rope so that snake is falsified is Atmajnana. Right? Now, do you falsify a rope? Do you falsify a snake or you find a rope? What do you do? Do you falsify the snake or you find a rope? When the rope is found, where is the snake? So do you get jnanam or do you retire ajnanam? We are in philosophical speculations. And this I am giving you a very, very superficial level of what is there in Upanishads. This is just a glimpse of what the Rishis have been talking about. All the Upanishads are around this question. Now once this is there, see how they found out, how the Rishis went on researching inward. Bharat Bhumi was never a Bhumi of macro world. Bhautikta never appealed us. Why? चलता रहे, 4 व्हील वाली गाड़ी चल रही है, बाद में उड़ने वाला यान आ जाएगा, दैट इज इमटेरियल. पंच महाभूत है, उसको मिक्स करके कुछ ना कुछ निकलता रहेगा. वी आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन, वी आर इंटरेस्टेड इन द इनवर्ड जर्नी. ये कहाँ से आया? दिस स्ट्रक्चर व्हाट आई सी, व्हाट आई परसीव, does it have any substratum? And that is the reason why the whole theory of knowledge is focusing on this illusion. When you see a snake on the rope, the knowledge that you have that it is snake, is this a knowledge? 1. Is this a false knowledge? 2. Is this a knowledge that never existed? 3. Is this a knowledge that existed for some time? 4. No knowledge exists ever. 5. This analysis of superimposition of snake on the rope and its study is called Khyati. The word Khyativad or Khyati is here. Study of errors of knowledge, study of illusion of knowledge. Khyativad. Why do I see the snake? What is the process and is it true or not? There are different theories for it. Different philosophers have given their own impression. See how they get into the details of it. There is a rope and there is a snake. Alright. Snake is definitely not there. Isn't it? Rope is there. I am feeling there is a snake. It's a feeling, right? The snake is not there. If it is not there, then from where did it come? If on the rope, snake is not there, well, from where did it come? Somewhere it must have come, no? I didn't call it a rope. I called it a snake. We all know that snake is not there. But snake did come to my mind. From where did it come? Answer could be, your mind thought about the snake. Snake is not there. Then the other person asks, if the mind can think that snake is there, then why didn't the mind say that rope is there? It can say that also, isn't it? The other person said, no, it's not in the mind. It is in the object. The object is misconstrued as snake. So there is nothing in the mind. If there is nothing in the mind, if the object is misconstrued, then why it is not misconstrued as a steel pipe? Think. There are so many things which are parallel to that. Mind should construe anything. Why only snake? So is it that the object is at the fault? Is it that the subject is at the fault? Or is it that the perception is at the fault? And don't forget, whenever we are comparing and asking questions, keep the body-mind complex as the snake. Keep Chaitanya as the rope. And every time we say snake, rope, keep always relating there. Why Rajju Sarpa Udaharanam is so common in Vedanta is because of its beauty. If snake is because of the object, then mind has nothing to do with it. It is the object which did it. Then immediately the question comes, how can you have an object in front of you which is not the real object unless it is in your mind? That means you recalled a snake from where? From your memory. Isn't it? Where the memory came from? That long back when I saw the snake. That means snake was existing somewhere else. I brought it here, put it on that rope and called it a snake. Right? That means the knowledge that I got that this is snake is from somewhere else. I implanted it here. One aspect. Another aspect is it arose there itself. Third aspect is it arose in my mind. Fourth aspect is, sir, why do you call it false? It is also knowledge. Rope is knowledge, snake is knowledge. There's no khyati into it. There's no illusion. Why do you call it as an illusion? Snake also is truth. No, but it got sublated. It got sublated, fine. But it is a truth. World is a truth. It got sublated by Brahmadnanam, alright. But till that time it is truth, no? Why do you call it illusion? See the different aspects of khyati we are trying to see. Different aspects of worship. But before going to that khyati, with this much of background of what knowledge is and all that, the question comes that within this drama called world, within this theater where we are existing, we give some attributes to everything, isn't it? Because of this experiential 6 pramanams that we had: Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Shabda, Arthapatti and Vidhvamsabhava, or something which is not existing. Out of these 6 pramanas, why we are trying to these 6 pramanas is that ultimate truth which you intend to see, the Brahmanandam or Brahma. Can I use any of these 6 pramanas for that? Because experience is only by these 6 pramanas. So, can I see Brahman, Pratyaksha? I cannot. Why? Brahma is Vibhurvyapya, Ekameva Dvitiya. Suppose only one is there and there is no second, how can you see? Because to see you require 2. Right? And to see you require it to be an object. You should be subject. Brahman cannot be the object. So Pratyaksha Pramana cannot be used. What about inference, Anumana? If there is a smoke, there is fire. So similarly, if there is what, then there can be Brahman. Can we do Anumana? To Anumana also, you require 2 things. Brahman is So whose inference you will take? To infer also you require two things, two predicates. It's not possible. So anumanam cannot be used. What about upmana? He's like, there's no like because he's one. To compare, you require again two. So upmana, no use. He looks like a dog. No. He's the only person. So there is no ekameva advitiya. Advitiya. Second is not there. So comparison cannot happen. Leave this fourth one, shabda, little apart, and we go to this arthapatti. The example of that gentle boy who stood first in the university. That also is not possible. And the last one which we had seen, anupalabdhi. By absence you prove something. He is everywhere present. Chaitanyam, Brahma is present everywhere. That means all the pramanas of our experiences, there is only one pramana that can come close, and that is Shabda Pramana. That is why what do we do in India? We don't go for anything else for Brahmandhani. You go to Guru. Guru means Shabda Pramana. If Guru is there in the live body, he is Guru. If he is an inanimate object, Shruti. Veda. Veda are Shabda. So all Shabda Pramanam is the only Pramanam on the experiential level of knowledge, Anubhavajanya Jnana, where you can get what is called as Paroksha Jnana, looking through somebody else's eyes. You know, when that small child goes with the father to see anything in a jatra or wherever, he asks the father, Father, क्या दिख रहा है आपको? Because he's tall. So he says, बेटा यहाँ पे ऐसा ऐसा है. Then he says, अच्छा पापा और क्या दिख रहा है? This is what we are trying to do. The father told us what he has seen. We are trying to just study it. We have not seen it. Father has seen it. The process is through Shabda Pramana. And once this Shabda Pramana is there, then comes the question that whatever I experience within this close confinedness called the world of mind, the Vishwam, it has lots of characteristics, but none of these characteristics are of any use. And what are the three important characteristics of this world? Dharma, adharma. Dharma, adharma is one first important characteristics of this world. What is the second important characteristic of this world? Cause and effect. In this world, everything is cause and effect. Why are you born? There is a cause for it, right? Til hai to tel hai. Sesame seed is the cause. Sesame oil is the effect. Gurudev, what does he say? Cardinal principle. All the manifestations are nothing else but effects. All effects are ultimately emanating from cause. Effect is nothing but modified cause. And when the cause is destroyed, nothing remains. Basic fundamental, right? That means this world is made up of cause and effect. This world is made up of dharma and adharma. And the third thing is Kala Bheda. This world is made up of past and future and present. These three characteristics are the characteristics of the world that we stay in. And the purpose is to sublet these three. Can there be a place where there is no dharma, adharma? Can there be a place where there is no cause and there is no effect? And can there be a place where there is no past, no present and no future? These three are there, we all know that. Why past? I know. I've experienced the past and I know future. That's how I keep thinking about the future. Cause effect, I know. That is the reason why I always say कि मैं इतना काम कर रहा हूँ तो मुझे इतना तो कर्म तो फल. Cause and effect, I am always playing with it. And about the dharma, adharma, it is always in my life is all blended with dharma and adharma. You shouldn't do this. Ethics, morality is all nothing else but the reflections of dharma. Dharmam chara, satyam vada. In this world, in their world, dharma, adharma. Now the question only is, I know the confines of my world and its characteristic. Can there be a world, if that is the word, right word, it is not, but still, can there be a world where this world will be sublated? These three characteristics are not there. And that is the reason why mantra is it's called mahamantra also. Kathoupnishad is full of splendid mantras, but this is mahamantram. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. See Nachiket what he is asking. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. Neither the dharma is there nor adharma is there. We'll come to what dharma is, but both are not there. Anyatra asmat krutat akrutat. That means no cause, no effect. A place where there is no cause, no effect. A place where there is no dharma, no adharma. Anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha. Past and the future. Right? Yat tad pashyasi tadvad. He is asking Lord Yamaraja, what you see where dharma adharma is not there, past and future is not there, cause and effect is not there, yat pashyasi tadvad, that you tell me. Baki ka kuch baat mat karo. Not interested. I know you praised me in the last mantra. I am not interested in that. Your praise also is not important. Give me the specific answer. And मुझे मालूम है कि आपने देखा है. You've seen it. यत पश्यसी. मैं आता ही नहीं आपके पास. अगर आपको मालूम नहीं होता तो मैं क्यों आता? I've come to you to ask that question. So the question of Nachiketa here should be the question of sadhaka. If this question is not asked, better not to waste time in Adhyatma. Enjoy the life that you got. Fair enough. मजा चल रहा है. आना अगर यहाँ पे है तो शोबाजी चलेगी नहीं. A serious question has to be asked. When you go to the serious standpoint, then day-to-day behavior becomes a very easy thing. बात कहाँ की चल रही है? भोजराजा की. ये कहाँ गंगोत्री की बात हो रही है? कितना प्लॉट, कितना फ्लैट, कितना पैसा, कितना प्रमोशन, हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ एंड उससे मेरे साथ झगड़ा किया, मैं उसको छोड़ूंगा नहीं, एंड ऑल दैट. You are in the confines. We are talking of out of confines. So this concept of confines, treating it as an illusion, Brahma or a khyati, and knowing the nature of this khyati is important so that it gives us sound intellectual basis. आप imagine कर लो, when small children are playing, what is your attitude towards them? हमने कभी ये नहीं बोला कि ये खेल नहीं रहे, खेल चल रहा है. Who has denied the game? They playing. पर वो रो रहा है. उसका एक that marble कंचा has been taken by the other boy and he is crying. He is so happy that I got 4 out of it. The adult who is looking at it, he says that इसका रोना भी गलत है, इसका हंसना भी गलत है. अरे छोड़ो, ये सब खेल ही गलत है. But does he harm the children? से नहीं, खेलो, खेलते रहो. What has happened is one of them has grown up and the attitude has changed. This growing up, this expanding, this maturing into intelligence through the process of chitta shuddhi and dhyanam. होता ये है. When did you come to know that this is a child's play? Can you tell me that time? नहीं, हम बड़े होते गए. एक दिन, one day I felt this is child's play. When that one day, which was that day, you cannot define. Can you tell me the date on which? Similarly, that one day is when Guru tells you to become an adult. A grown-up man, boy, goes to Guru and becomes a man. That process is so subtle that होने के बाद हो गया समझता है, होने के पहले हुआ नहीं समझता है, कैसे हुआ ये समझता नहीं. You swam the river? Yes sir, because I am on the other side. Did you swim the river? No sir, I am on this side. How did you swim the river? I don't know sir. That is how Guru Tattva works. But for whom? For the swimmer who is competent to traverse. Competency of the swimmer comes through Chitta Shuddhi and Dhyanam. Now, I believe we are clear about the process of sadhana and what we precisely do. When you go to a macro level, a CEO of the company, if somebody comes and says, sir, wo 55 paisa kisme post karna, he laughs at it. He said, that's not my job. Why? He's at a very high level. He looks at that invoice and says, kisi ko bata do yaar. By studying this, we put ourselves on such a high pedestal that those small questions like, ये साड़ी मुझे सूट करती है कि नहीं, it is such an absurdity in the whole concept of thing, because body नहीं है, अब साड़ी की बात कर रहे हैं. When the body itself is being questioned, then intellect itself is being questioned. My whole existence is being questioned here. Then where is the question of beautifying the existence? So that is why Vairagyam comes with a strong footing for those who study the Upanishads. Till that time, Guruji ne bola, sab chhod do, koi rakhne ka nahi, koi pakad ke nahi rakhne. That's a very blind kind of a belief. So the difference between a enlightened person approaching Vivekam and Vairagyam is the one who studies this. So today what we try to see is a backdrop of what is called epistemiology or Jnana Mimamsa, which is half of the Adhyatma. Half is metaphysics, half is epistemology. Jnana Mimamsa, Vastu Mimamsa. Vastu Mimamsa is all about Atma Jnana. Directly it's trying to study the Atman, and epistemology is reasoning or Pramana Shastra. In the Pramana Shastra, we saw what are the types of knowledge. We also saw what is the Anubhavajanya Jnana. We saw what are the 6 Pramanas, a lot to digest actually. But on this, if we all go back, including the one who is speaking, and study more, it will become more clear. After this, then we will take this mantra, its meaning and types of kyatis that we have. So this will complete what is called as the theoretical aspect. Kathoupnishad is so well structured that after this mantra, Nachiketa is clear about khyati and knowledge and everything. Kathoupnishad should have ended here. It doesn't end. Why? Indian philosophy doesn't end with intellectual speculation. It believes in practical. That is why after this mantra, all the mantras are dedicated to Omkar. Now, n number of times we have heard about Omkar, Pranav. What is it exactly? Why so important? Why that one word called Omkar is so critical and important? All that comes with the future mantras after we finish this mantram and Khyati. Hari. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.